We have to whisper because we're at Malta Silent City.
In this week's video, we take a day tour of the island of Malta, seeing sights such as Mdina, the Red Tower, some caves by boat, and a whole lot more.
Our first stop of the day, exploring the island of Malta, on our first day trip is Golden Bay. So we're not here necessarily as a full beach day or anything. This is just a quick photo opportunity, photo spot. This is considered like one of the most famous beaches on the island. I think a lot of the beaches around the island are rocky and this is very sandy. So this is why a lot of people want to come to this bit. What do you think of the beach?
Good. The sand feels nice on my feet.
Yeah, the sand's a lot softer than the beach next to our hotel, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, it's nice.
So we thought nice to lie down on with just a towel on the sand. There are a lot of sunbeds available. You can see behind us there. I imagine that this beach probably gets jam-packed in the middle of summer. We're still probably a little bit early in the day for it to be busy now, and probably a little bit early in the season as well because we're here at the end of May, start of June. This is the sunbeds here all the way along. All with a towel on each one, prepped for people ready to come sunbathe. Got volleyball courts, and it looks like they're also setting up for festivals. We're here right at the end of a big music festival on the island. So I think the last few events are on today, which is our first day here. So thankfully with the kids we've missed that, because if we'd arrived just as the music festivals all started, I'm not quite sure how the kids would have coped with that, but who knows, maybe me and Rebecca would have had a whale of a time dancing the night away. We're at our second stop now, which is another viewpoint. It's just around the corner from the previous one, and it looks out over a beautiful bay with what looks like a rather nice beach as well. The sea's already getting to be a fantastic colour, and it's still probably not even 10 o'clock in the morning. So I imagine by midday when the sea's had a chance to warm, this will look absolutely fantastic. Again, it's more of a photo stop for us rather than going on the beach. We do have other trips where we're specifically beach hopping. But yeah, it looks really pretty. And we also have a swing that the kiddies are currently swinging on behind us, squeaking away. So this here is the former set of the Popeye film starring Robin Williams. You probably can't make it out in the video, but they're doing a little dance on the opposite side there. What do you think?
Good.
Houses look funny, don't they? Because it's been done to look like the cartoon. Colour of that water as well. So behind me is St Agatha's Tower, or the Red Tower. I've got the tower here, and if I turn, behind me over here, you have Camino, and the far island is Gozo. So we will be doing those on a boat trip later in the week. But the view from up here is absolutely fantastic. And it's almost 360 degrees because you can follow the coastline round the Red Castle, and then it looks quite pretty over there as well. I'm looking forward to going to those islands that we can see from here on the boat trip.
Yes.
Yeah. When our first day, and I think Elias is desperate to have a day where you're on the boat and going to the beaches, aren't you? Yeah. This is the view from the other side of the Red Tower. Again, we've got a beautiful beach down there, and then you've got all the hotels going around the bay. I'm not quite sure what this bit is down here. It looks like there's potentially like a little nature reserve or something like that, which is cool. You can go in the tower, but because of the type of trip that we're on today, we're doing lots of dotting about the island and trying to see as much of the island as possible. So we're not actually going in today. We do have a day later in the week where we're not really doing anything, so if there's anything that jumps out at us, we'll potentially come back, but but now it's a case of doing as much exploring as we can. So we're now in Mostar, which is a beautiful old town, some fantastically pretty buildings behind us, and we're about to go into the church that's behind us here.
The church has the third largest unsupported dome in Europe.
So when you timing. So it's important when you come into a church like this to be respectful. So when you're in the church, like, polite to remove your hat. If you have your shoulders out, you will also need to cover your shoulders. If you have your shoulders out, they do have shawls that they can give you whilst you go around, but it might be an idea if you do plan on coming to somewhere specifically like this, just to have a light shirt or something that you can shove in a bag that you can then take out and put on for when you come inside. So we've come up the steps onto the roof, and now we are at a point where we are just below the dome itself, so we're quite high above the base of the church. It's quite cool. You can see that it's very high. We haven't been downstairs yet, but I imagine if we look back up to where we've been to, it'll be even more obvious as to how high up it is that we've been. It's beautiful with the gold, blue and white colour scheme of the dome itself. There's randomly 5 there that don't have the colour on, and all the rest have colour.
I really like this because there's lots of artwork that I can take pictures of, and the artwork is really good.
When you go up, there's a fence in front of you, and then they've got like a layer of perspex going round. You can't get all the way around the dome. You can only get to a little bit near the entrance. And if you do have a fear of heights, it is quite high up, so you might want to just pop your head in and then go and sit back outside and let others in the group take photos, because that's what Elias did. He's not too keen on heights still, so he popped his head on, had a look, was very brave, and then went and sat on the steps and waited for us to be done. So one of the things this church is famous for is during World War II, during a mass, there was a bomb that came down from above the image of Jesus there, bounced down through the central aisle and landed just near the door behind. Malta was one of the most bombed countries in World War II, so that's a story that a lot of islanders share, that their grandparents were present when this event happened during the war. And for all the bomb came in through the dome above Jesus, bounced down the aisle in amongst 400 or 500 people, it didn't explode, the bomb didn't go off. When you're exploring the church, they do have an audio guide that you use through your phone using QR codes that are dotted about through the building, or you can move on the app from section to section as you follow through the church. So here you can see that we're about to go into the main sacristy, and along here is the bomb. Can you imagine what it must have felt like to be a local in the church at the time during World War II, having the bomb crash into the building and expecting everything to be just over, and then having the miracle and the relief afterwards of the bomb just miraculously not going off, and be able to be like disarmed and actually put on shore and like sort of like celebrate this miracle of the bomb not ending. And celebrate the miracle of the bomb not exploding. There's quite a lot of church bells going off whilst we've been here. It's been quite funny. Maybe so I'll put a couple in for having bloopers or something. The air raid shelter is under the church that we've just been in. I think it's included in the ticket price, however there's no one checking tickets coming down here, so I don't know if you're able to just come in anyway. The air raid shelter obviously is important because Malta in the Second World War was a key location for the British, and one that Hitler and Mussolini very much wanted to try and attack. There's a lot of bombing of the island, there was a lot of starving of the island, trying to stop food and things getting here because it was a British colony, but obviously it is just off the coast of Sicily. You can get to Sicily in about a 20-minute flight or a 45-minute ferry ride, which is why the island was so important, both in terms of the British as an outpost in the Mediterranean, but also important for being a target for the Axis powers. This here is the city of Mdina. It's been on this site for thousands of years, and it was the original capital of the island before the capital was moved by the Knights to the three cities and then later by the British to Valletta.
Did you know that feeding pigeons in Malta will get you a fine of €46? Shh. We're at the Silent City, so we need to be quiet.
Mdina has a lot of quaint little back streets that are quite good to explore. The kind of points get a little bit congested though, especially where there are quite Instagrammable photo spots, such as queues that are forming for this door over here for people to take selfies. So we are here at Dingley Cliffs. It's another opportunity for a photo point.
Yep.
There is a pretty church that is just behind us there, and it is right on the cliffs overlooking the sea. It's quite pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. It's another quick jumping out and getting a few photos and then back in the car. It's not a long stop like Mdina was it?
Yeah.
Mdina.
Yeah, and another thing that you can take a photo of is if you have a zoom camera, you can zoom into the sea and there's a little island over there.
Yeah, there's an island just off the coast, just under the, like, just in the sea, just off the coast.
Yeah, so I took a picture of it. If you come here, I recommend bringing sunglasses because it is really bright, so Elias had to let me borrow his sunglasses.
Yeah, she's posing for photos in doorways in Mdina way, and the sun was quite strong in your eyes.
And what made it worse was the buildings were like close to white, so that was worse as well.
Lots of reflection of light as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've now come to Lassie, where there are some absolutely amazing rock pools that it looks like people can swim in. Now, I think there's only me and Elias wearing swimming stuff today, so not sure if we will be going in the water or not, and I don't think we've got towels. We're going to go and have a look, maybe so I dip my feet in after walking around Mdina. Pool that's here in front of me, you can swim down and then come out on the other side in the sea because there's a gap going through it. I think even if we were swimming here, I don't think I would be doing that because I'm not a strong enough swimmer, I don't think, but it's quite cool nonetheless. The water is very cold. So our last viewpoint, looked over on some boats that were coming up with a little cove. So now I want to head down to that little cove to see if we can have a go on one of the boats. And something else to point out is I'd specifically said that only Daddy and Elias were wearing clothes that could get wet. And guess who fell in? So the boat's going to take us out to see some caves.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to seeing them?
Yeah.
Yeah. The water's a bit choppy, isn't it, Elias?
Yep. Yep.
At least the boat's not going too fast with how choppy the water is.
Yeah, and me and Elias like boat rides, so I'm really happy we're going on this.
Yeah, you were saying in one of our other videos that you find being on boats relaxing, weren't you?
Yeah.
Can you say anything more than yes?
Fun?
Are you able to say anything more than yes?
Yes. It was so fun. I really enjoyed it because when the waves were big, it made a big splash and I had my hand here, so my hand got wet. Same. Yeah, and also I'm excited for our next boat trip. The water's so blue and so see-through, and there's so many different colours in the caves. I recommend doing it. And I especially liked when it was in the caves because the water turned aqua, and aqua is my favourite colour. He said it isn't as cold as the pool.
This here is the Blue Grotto. This is one of the caves that we've just been in the boat, and you can see that the boat coming in now is the site that we were just on, and it comes in under the arch and then into the cave over there. So we're now in our last stop of the day. This is, I think it's pronounced Marshall Locks. It's got a very pretty harbour behind us, but all the buildings that come around the harbour are all quite pretty and old as well. There's a lot that have character, like old stone, but then with like brightly coloured doors. So quite a nice place. Looks like there's lots of little cafes and things as well. Places to get ice creams, but we've already had ice creams. So yeah, it's going to be nice to have a walk along the seafront. We have a market here, and then a beautiful old church there. Again with a dome. I've seen quite a lot of churches with domes and things I've been here in Malta. This is only our first day, really. Yeah, very pretty. A lot of the restaurants along the front look like we have absolutely amazing seafood. Lots of the dishes were like pasta dishes, I'm assuming from the sort of like Italian influence on Malta, but with like delicious looking fish and shellfish and mussels and things like that on. If we're here for a little bit longer, we'd definitely be eating, but we were only here for about half an hour, so probably don't have quite enough time for a sit-down meal, which is a shame. A lot of the boats out in the harbour seem to do day trips. Some of them seem to do just like little harbour cruises, but some of them offer more in-depth excursions. Most of them are really pretty. They all seem to be painted in a relatively similar colour scheme, where it's mainly blue, but then with yellow and red accents, which I think is one of the things that like, seems to be making the harbour quite pretty for me. That combined with some of the old buildings as well. Oh yeah, there's big fish there.
Yeah, no, I've seen some.
Yeah, walking right at the edge of the harbour, we could like see fish because the water's so clear, you can see right down at the bottom underneath the boats. Surprised that Elias is walking so close to the edge. Oh, that fish was huge.
Oh, they are big. Compared to some of the other fish there.
Yeah, that was big. That was big as well.
They're actually great.
Yeah, some of them are huge fish. I imagine some of the boats will probably do fishing trips as well.
So our excursion today was an all-day trip. We started at 9 o'clock in the morning and we've just got back to the hotel at 5. The tour was with Malta Land Tours, which I'll leave links for down below so that you can see what they offer. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more from our adventures around Malta, please do consider subscribing and join us next time with the video here where we go and visit a Maltese winery. Thank you for watching. Bye now.